Hey guys, for those that have watched my channel, you know that a passion of mine is good food. And when I first started making videos, my first videos were in New Orleans. Then I went over into Philadelphia and in Los Angeles in 2024. But majority of my videos that were mixed in were right here in the Bay Area. And the majority of my content is Bay Area food, and it will continue to be so. But another passion of mine is travel. And I wanted to use this same channel to share my travel experiences as well as my food experiences in all the countries that I visit. And as I began to post my travel videos recently, one of my viewers asked or suggested, since many of us in the United States don't know how and where to book travel to places like Mongolia and Korea, any possibility to share with us how to book travel and how you go around in places that you're not familiar with? Right now, I'm in the beautiful neighborhood of Montclair in Oakland. I haven't been here in a while. This is an excellent burger place that opened recently called OG Burger. I had it about a couple months ago, and it's an excellent burger. So eventually I'd like to make a video there. But welcome, guys. I'm glad to be back here in the Bay Area in my hometown of Oakland. And as I mentioned in the intro, this video will be mainly to talk about travel. And if I could help with any travel advice to those that would like to travel to different places, that's what this video is about. But I also wanted to share one of my favorite Mexican spots in Oakland, and it's over here. El Agavero in front of me. And this burrito spot's been around for a long time, or excuse me, not burrito spot, but Mexican cuisine restaurant. And they serve some excellent food. They got excellent chips and salsa. So I want you guys to check it out, but also stay tuned as I'll talk about also travel tips and advice on how to book travel and stuff like that. So come with me inside El Agavero right here. So I just sat down and he already brought out my chips and salsa, which are excellent here. I ordered a Diet Coke, but I wanted to show you real quickly the menu, which has the usual suspects of items that you'd see at a Mexican cuisine and tequila bar. And it's located here at 2071 Mountain Boulevard, Oakland, California, 94611, of course, in the Montclair Village neighborhood. And just the regular stuff you'll see, the appetizers, salads, the breakfast, omelets, burritos here, fajitas, which are excellent. I've had that as well. The tacos, the combos of tamales, enchiladas, all that good stuff, all excellent. All the burritos and specialty plates like steak, ranchero, soups, caldos, and kids menu. So I already ordered. So they have specials here. I already ordered. So I'm just waiting for the food to come out. To start, I just want to preface this video that I'm not a travel expert. I have traveled to many places across 6 continents, everything except Antarctica, as far as the continents. And I could just share what I've learned along the way with you guys and from my experiences. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt. There's no right or wrong way to travel. But the first thing I would suggest is my food's here already. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Super famous with sour cream cheese and guacamole, cilantro, onion tomato, and free beans, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
You enjoy it.
Thank you. They're so kind here. They took care of me. You should see. I want to show you an up close of how big this burrito is here at this Mexican joint. So let's take a close up of this. Here's a close-up of the burrito. If you only saw how huge this burrito is, this burrito is at least 3 pounds in size. So you're gonna pay a premium. The burritos are, actually the going rate here in Oakland, but you're not gonna find a burrito bigger than this here in Oakland. So definitely, uh, I'm excited to try it. And I haven't had a burrito in a while because I've been traveling, so I'm looking forward to it. As I was saying before I got the food and did the close up, my first suggestion is figure out what kind of traveler you are. There's many different types of travel that people enjoy, whether it's laying on the beach, at a resort, a cruise. Do you like to do adventurous trips? Maybe you like to do historical trips about history and castles and beautiful sights. Maybe mountains. Uh, there's so many different types of travel out there that people enjoy doing, and different experiences that you want to have. For myself, my favorite and what really got me into travel, which is the case for a lot of people, was when I started watching Anthony Bourdain many years back. And as I would watch him interact with the people in a certain country or city, also seeing the different variety of cuisines all over the world, it really sparked my interest into traveling and seeing places that I've never seen. And it really was game changing for me when I started traveling and being able to see the world, and it's really enriching. It's something that you'll never forget, and I would recommend it to anyone that can travel. I know it's not possible for everyone, but for those that want to, I would absolutely highly recommend traveling. So, first, figure out what kind of traveler you are. Do you want to relax? Do you want adventure? Do you want to meet people? Do you want to enjoy good food from around the world? That's the first step in travel. After you figure out what kind of traveler you are, the next thing is going to be research, research, research. And sometimes when you go on the forums on Facebook, um, when people ask a question, there'll always be like this one guy that has to say, Google's your friend. And that's kind of a jerk response, because obviously the person's asking the forum and the people that have experience traveling, how do I do this? But the truth be told, that is how you find information on travel. You can ask specific questions on Google search to get the answers to almost all of your questions. So Googling is key. How do I get from the airport to my hotel? How do I book this? Or how do I, any type of question that you have, Google will help you. So that's one important way. But there's other ways as well. One way that I do a lot of research is on YouTube, learning from other vloggers, their experiences. You could ask them questions in the comments, and sometimes they'll respond. But there's a lot of good information on YouTube that you can find. And you can type in keywords. Like, for example, when I wanted to go to Mongolia, I keyword Ulaanbaatar or Mongolia or Mongolian food. And by searching that on YouTube, you'll find videos on all those topics that will be of assistance to someone that was looking to go to Mongolia. Another great place to go, believe it or not, is TikTok. There's all these shorts on TikTok, great information in just less than a minute that can be very helpful with travel. For example, I've been posting videos of Korea. When I go on TikTok, I'll punch in things to do in Seoul. And then all these TikTok short videos pop up that give great advice about things to do in Seoul. So don't ever overlook TikTok. TikTok has a lot of good information, and the algorithm will notice that you ask that question, and just video after video will pop up to help you search whatever your interests are. A third place that is key and that I use a lot and also share a lot of my own experience and information is TripAdvisor. If you want to find the best hotels in a certain city, if you want to find the best restaurants of any cuisine, uh,
TripAdvisor is the place to go. They also have forums within each city on TripAdvisor where you can ask questions to those that have gone there. And you're not always guaranteed 100% response, but I've been fortunate enough that I would say 70% of the time you're going to get a response with good information. So people are all out there willing to help, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, TripAdvisor, even myself. If I have the information, you could ask me in the comments. So just research the web, Google, whatever it is, and you'll be able to answer many of the questions that you're looking for. But let me go ahead and take a first bite of this burrito before it gets cold. It won't get cold, but look how much sour cream and guac they gave me. So they put a ton on here. And let me take my first bite of this giant wet burrito. After I cut off the camera, I started working on this burrito. And let me show you the cross section of the burrito here. And this burrito right here is a 10. I guarantee you, if you come here up to Montclair Village, this is going to be one of the best wet burritos that you're going to get in Oakland and the whole Bay Area for that matter. So even though I'm not talking a lot about the food, I did want to share with you guys how awesome this wet burrito is here in Montclair Village. But the next thing I want to talk about is after you've done your research about where you want to go, what kind of traveler you are, then the next thing you want to look up is also wherever you're going, find out what the travel requirements are when you get there. Do they require a visa? For example, if you want to go to Vietnam and travel throughout Vietnam, you're going to need a visa. And usually it's an online visa where you have to send a bunch of your information, your passport, your dates of entry and exit, also where you're going to stay. And then Vietnam will examine your application and will either send you a visa or will reject it. And there's quite a few different countries, and then there's a lot of countries that don't require visas. Also, you want to Google this. What's the best time of year to travel to where I want to go? Because for myself, I don't like rain when I travel. I like the dry season. I like the cool season. So for instance, a place like Thailand, the best months to travel to Thailand are going to be end of November, December, January, February. Starts getting hot in March. Definitely is hot in April. And then the rest of the year is rainy season. So you're not going to want to go any other time of the year. Same as Philippines as well. So those type things you want to definitely ask when you're going to travel. What are the requirements to get in? And when's the best time to go? Another thing you're going to want to research when you find exactly where you want to go, what city you want to go to, is what's the best neighborhood to stay in. So, for example, I just came back from Seoul. And when I was in Seoul, and you research it, it says for first-timers that come to Seoul, stay in Myeongdong. And that's a central location that has a lot of shopping and touristy things where a lot of the vendors speak English. So for a tourist like myself that needs to be in a central location and be able to communicate, even though we have Google Translate, that's another important thing to research while you're on Google. And like I said, you can research that on YouTube as well. There's a lot of great travel vloggers that also can help with that information. Other things I forgot to mention is also, you're probably going to want activities to do while you go. So a great place to go to for activities, excursions, and you could even book it ahead of time, is on TripAdvisor. They're going to have a list of different activities and things to do in whatever particular city or country that you're going to. Also, a nice one also is Viator.com. And you can punch in whatever city you're going to, and it's going to give you a list of all the different activities. For example, when I went to Bali, I decided I wanted to take a cooking class and learn how to make some Indonesian food. So, or maybe you want to see a show, a dance show, a singing, a cultural show. There's so many different activities. Or you go to Thailand and you want to see that train market, where the train runs through the market. All those activities can be found on Viator, TripAdvisor, and there's a load of different places you can go to book excursions as well. You're still feeling unsure, which for people that maybe don't have as much experience traveling, may have reservations about traveling. There's Thank you. Everything's great. I appreciate it. They're so nice. They're checking on me to make sure I'm enjoying it, and I am. Look, I'm about to wipe out this little 2-3 pound burrito. So the other thing I wanted to mention, I got my notes here, is ask questions. I know I mentioned it earlier, but questions, just ask. Don't hesitate. What's the worst that can happen if you ask? So ask people on YouTube, ask on the forums, on Facebook. There's so many travel groups on Facebook that you can join and ask questions. And most of the people are pretty nice about it. You're going to get some knuckleheads in there, but that's the world we live in. I'm going to get knuckleheads in the comments for this video. It's just the way it is. You know, we got to have a little bit of thick skin when you put yourself out there like that. The other thing I want to mention is if you see like a tour guide or a tour agency in a certain place, and I'll give you an example. When I just came back from Mongolia, Doshan from Kazakh Tours that I used in Mongolia, I have been communicating for him since COVID for 5 years about traveling to Mongolia, and it finally came to fruition. So I asked him questions along the way, and he didn't hesitate to answer. So any good tour company will be freely give information and be very helpful when it comes to any questions you have about traveling to that country, or when it comes to excursions or how to do things for their country. Because of course they want you to come and to experience it. That's what they're there for. So definitely ask questions. Ask me if you want. You know, I'll give whatever information I have because I want everyone to be able to experience the wonderful aspects of traveling. So ask questions. That's the next thing I thought of. So you already got all your information. You know where you want to go. You know the things you want to do. You've asked all the questions you want to ask. So now it's time to book it. And that's going to be a vital part of going on vacation, is booking it, finding the best deals. So once again, it starts with Google. Go to Google, punch in SFO to ICN, which is Korea's international airport, or wherever you're trying to go to. Find out the airport code and where your starting point is. And you're going to get a list of prices from all the different airlines on Google. And it'll show you all the best prices for the dates that you punch in. Then decide if you're going to book directly through the airlines. For me, it's changed through the years. So when I first started traveling, I always booked on third-party sites like Expedia or Travelocity, Priceline. Those are all great websites, but they're all third-party websites. And it's a lot harder to make adjustments or changes or cancellations when you book through a third party. So unless I'm doing something like a week in Chicago, that you can book on a third party like Expedia. That's a great place to go. And in fact, you might be heavily discounted for booking a package through them. There's also Costco. Costco isn't cheap, but I know plenty of people that have booked through Costco as well. If that's the kind of destination or vacation or hotel that you're looking for, if they already got it all set for you, all you got to do is pay them. So how easy is that? But let's just say for Mongolia. So you punch in SFO to Mongolia for myself, look at the prices, and I like to book directly through the airlines. That way, if any changes need to be made, I could just call directly to the airlines. When you book through a third party, you got to go through them. You can't call them directly. So it's a big headache. It happened to me during COVID. I had Nicaragua booked and Buenos Aires, and my flight was canceled. And guess what? It was hard to get my money back because of the third party. So that changed the way travel's been done for myself. I prefer to have travel that I can make changes when necessary. And also for hotels, I prefer either pay later when I arrive or fully refundable airline or airlines and hotels for that matter, because you never know what's going to happen along the way. But if you're sure you're going to go and it's last minute, don't worry about it. Just book it. But for me, especially with hotels, I always want the freedom to cancel when necessary. So the next step is book it. Book directly through the airlines. Do your research through Google. You can find the best prices for hotels as well as flights. And you should also check the reviews on TripAdvisor, on Google, for a particular airlines or for a certain hotel. And TripAdvisor has all those as well as Google. So, like for instance, top airlines: Emirates, Singapore Airlines, Korean Air. A lot of the Asian airlines are great. The ones to South America maybe aren't as good. The ones to Europe are decent. Domestic to me is probably my least favorite, which of the best of the bunch would probably be Delta. So I'd probably choose Delta if I'm flying domestic. But all these things is a part of research. Research which is the best hotel under your budget. Research the best airlines to fly. And also look how long it's going to take to get there. Where are the layovers at? Do you want a direct flight? All these things you want to look at when you're booking that flight. The things to think about when you're traveling is what's your budget going to be? Are you going to allot for $100 a day, $150 a day? How much shopping do you plan to do? One of the things I recommend for travelers is to have a travel credit card. There's so many perks, the points that you can get towards free travel, the no transaction fees when you're abroad, free lounge access. All that stuff is great when you're traveling. I'd much rather be sitting in the lounge than be sitting at the gate before I jump on the airplane, especially being that they make us all go to the airport 3 hours early. So a travel credit card, find out wherever you're going, and you can do this on Google or TripAdvisor. You can ask the questions to those people, or even on Facebook groups. What's the ATM situation in that city? Or what's the currency exchange there? Is it easy to have current? Is there plenty of currency exchange places at the airport or in the city or in the neighborhoods? All questions that you definitely want to have because, of course, you want to have money. In fact, in Seoul in particular, actually Mongolia too, I could use credit card basically even with the street vendors. Everybody took credit cards, so that made it simplified everything when I was traveling to Seoul. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I have my notes here, is my viewer that asked me to make this video is how do I get around? And that's going to be the least of your problems because um, everywhere has taxis or buses. In fact, I kind of stopped even researching that at this point because I know I'm going to have to get from the airport to my hotel. If you're in Asia, basically all of Asia has Grab or Uber. So you're going to be able to jump on any of those, and it's more inexpensive compared to the Bay Area and the United States. Pretty much anywhere you travel, I order this burrito, and this is probably the most expensive meal you're going to have in all these other countries. So you're living large when you're living out there. And when you talk to people that give you advice, make sure it's somebody that's actually been there, because people will give you bad advice and never even traveled or been to the location that you're trying to go to. So how are you going to listen to them? They're going to say, "Oh, it's dangerous. Don't go there." And I always think to myself, I live in Oakland. You know that, right? You go everywhere else, it's like Pleasantville or Disneyland compared to Oakland. So, make sure your source of information is from someone that actually knows what's up. But so those are some of the things that I thought about, guys. I know I did a lot of talking in this video about travel, but I still want to once again highlight how good the food is here in Montclair Village. So If you get the opportunity to try the food, the Mexican food here, it's amazing. And if you have any other questions, I'm sure I left out plenty of information because I just, off the top of my head, I can't think of everything that you might need to know to travel. So please leave in the comments any other questions you might have. And I'll even could give my email if you have any concerns about travel, because I'm always willing to help. And once again, I want to thank you guys for watching my videos. I'm going to continue to be putting out quite a few videos in other countries, but I'm going to get back to the Bay Area, guys. So please continue to watch. And I want to thank you guys for all your support. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. So appreciate it, guys. I'm going to finish up this burrito, and I'll see you guys soon.